Chinese to exchange the Buddhist relics, of course, indeed. So that transaction is paid off today by $300 each time for two. And if you just want, it's $150. It's not confusing, but it's confusing in the way that it's written out the menu. $220 if you want the regular cheap food, I was told. If you want good quality food, you pay a little bit more. This is where the world is failing. This is where the people are confused. They're completely dressed up nicely. They're confused from the palace life to the confusion of life. The real life is that you will all die. This is a mortal piece of life. When you learn to live as life, you will enjoy life instead of being confused by advertising, by makeup and fashion and all of that business. Do you know what I'm saying? Probably not. It might take a little while to understand the true concept of life. The reality will one day descend on you. When it descends on you, it's too late to realize that you have lived an absolutely shallow and empty life. The Europeans, the British have nicely confused the world, and they're chasing this confusion around the world. Very soon we will come to an end. We will have all but absolutely nothing. Having and spending is not what life is all about. By consciousness, you might enhance the perception of life and the dimensions of life, and that in turn will turn you to become a human and a piece of life. I enjoyed the food. I don't see a quality difference. It is more like an artificiality for me. Thank you. And I'll show you what is the Buddha would have experienced, where the people outside are sitting down in the heat. We've got an air condition, comfort, and a light setting, and a chair to sit down. Well, it is all, the money is what is confusing all of us. Let's go out and see the reality. This is a joke and a half, because the person who's supposed to record did not record, so I'm recording it again. Anyway, here we go. I've got a VIP. Can you see it? VIP. Very important person. There's no importance here. What is important is that they managed to take money out of your pocket and to make them a profit. And I was sold a VIP ticket stating that I've got good food here. Good food and Buddha. All what he did was he lived a palace life, a palatial life back in India. Now, that experience that he had, it was covered up from his parapet walls of the palace. He never saw the reality of life, which was the life, the suffering, the illness, the sickness, and the death. He managed to escape the palace and come down to the street with his caretaker, or you call it servant. And that servant said he escaped from his palace life and wanted to learn what it is to be a true life on earth. And to know that, you need to be involved with life. That involvement in turn made him asking questions as he saw different stages of life, and different stages of suffering, pain and hurt and death and sickness and illness. And all of those questions arose as he found himself to be mortal and a piece of life. And this physical form of body that exists has always will cause you a serious amount of suffering, because with this physical body, if you do not know how to keep it physically and mentally in tune with the interior dimensions of life, you will constantly struggle to strive for what is happiness or what is to be happy. Now, Here, I'm doing completely the opposite, simply because we have got a business entity, church, temple, mosque, synagogue, you call it, you name it, whatever that may be. Every one of these places are open from 9 to 5 or 8:30 to 4:30 or 10:30 to 4:30. And that in turn means it is a business. When you have a business like that, all you are driven is by greed and money. When you're driven by greed and money, your emphasis on life fails and stops just there, simply because it has no basis of true reality of life. The true reality of life happens outside, so come with me and I'll show you what it is.